I think it's important to showcase some of the other flat earth debunking talent in this community, especially if they're not quite as well known as others. So every now and then, that is exactly what I'm going to do, starting today with a member of the wolf pack, Where's Wally? And what better way to kick this off than with someone who has had a huge amount of interaction with that guy. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes all online privacy protection easy and attainable, encrypting all of your internet traffic sent to and from your devices. And to make sure your IP address remains hidden so no one can see what you're doing online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware and phishing attempts, and unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you like simultaneously. I personally spend as much time online as I do sleeping. That's 6 to 8 hours per day. The internet knows a lot about us, which is why we should be careful about our online data. Use Surfshark to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel so that no one can see it without your permission. What may be useful to all of you guys out there is the ease of access to entertainment. If you can't find a TV or movie from the streaming service in your country, which you've paid the fee for, then why not try a different country? For instance, The Hobbit is only available on Netflix here in the UK. With Surfshark, you can choose any country to stream from without being there. Click on the link in the description or go to surfshark.deals/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to sign up for 83% off and 1 extra month for free. What are you, your internet browsing hours and your binge watching waiting for? Right, let's get back to today's video and in particular our guest debunker, Where's Wally? Now he very kindly sent me this little ISS tracker here, which based on my location tells me exactly where the ISS is going to be at any one time. Now, Where's Wally has some history with that guy who, let's remember, late last year took an absolute pasting from this channel about his arrogant rant of flat earth. We are going to take a look at 3 proofs that Where's Wally has put together for that guy, one of which was a response to that guy who said if he could prove this thing, he would delete his channel. Now, obviously that's already happened. Calm down, I know, it's great, isn't it? Anyway, Wally, away you go.
This video with 3 proofs was made for that guy. Remember the guy who said he'll be here?
Let me know what you think. I'll be here.
He's no longer here.
No, he is not, but that doesn't mean he won't see this.
G'day everybody, Where's Wally here. Here's the 3 proofs that hopefully took him down, plus the 2 I was going to poke at him later.
I have a daytime full moon. I've modeled, proved it doesn't work on the globe model.
The crux of that guy's claim is that the full moon is visible in the middle of the day, hence daytime full moon, hence the Earth is flat. But the thing to note is that the full moon is a point in time. In this case, it was actually 16:15 UTC. So before that, the moon is waxing, and directly after that, the moon is waning. It's just a single point in time when it's a full moon.
And this is a great point. Technically, the moon is only full for a very brief moment, but to our eyes, it appears full for several nights. And this is probably what that guy was referring to.
But we do tend to assign the term full moon to a whole day in which the full moon happens. Now, the only reason that the full moon was above the horizon at 1:25 PM was because this was Stockholm, and Stockholm is quite far north. Anyway, Wade went and made me a couple of little animations for this thing here, so he's basically gone and had a look at Stockholm in 2005 in December, and have a look at those angles. Look where the moon is, and look where the sun is. So you can see that the moon is above the you can see that the moon is visible for like 16 hours of the day. And we said, well, what happened if you go about 500 to 1,000 kilometres further north? Oh, now this is where it gets really interesting. See, now that the moon is visible for the full 24 hours, and I love how it almost disappears below the horizon, but doesn't quite. So how about that guy?
Just tie a knot in it.
Yes, excellently done, Wally. Well played.
Well, I'm going to call that number 1 done. There is absolutely no reason why that moon is anything to do with breaking a globe Earth at all. Sorry, that guy. You got nothing. You got nothing except...
You got me, Wally.
And I'd agree. 1-0 to you, buddy.
Gradient of a gas or fluid with no container. Debunks the globe model.
Pressure gradient without a container. Too easy, barely an inconvenience. Firstly, we're going to remind that guy that he has already acknowledged that there is a pressure gradient.
The weight of the atmosphere above creates pressure below, just like swimming in a swimming pool or being in a dog pile.
Excellent. Wally has that guy admitting that there's a pressure gradient in the atmosphere.
He just simply thinks that it needs a container. Okay, so and if anyone doubts that there is indeed a pressure gradient in the atmosphere, then just check out this video by me old mate Wolfie.
So I'm currently in Perth, Western Australia at Printer Street, Cottesloe, just near the base. And my elevation here is probably around 6 to 7 metres. And what I'm going to do now is walk to the top of the hill there, which is the intersection of Avonmore Terrace. And we're going to watch what happens to the air pressure in this Samsung phone. It's currently showing 1012 hectopascals.
A brilliant experiment, and one in which flat earthers can surely not refute. Let's see what happens when it gets to the top.
And there it is, just below 1010 hectopascals at the top of the hill. If we go back down, we're going to see an increase in that pressure.
Beautifully shown, Wolfie.
Oh, and don't you think that Wolfie just proved that there is a gradient? And don't you think that that is not a container of any sort? I think I'm going to call number 2 already done. Thanks, Wolfie. That was way too easy. And as for that lame idea that there is a container somewhere around the atmosphere, I would just like to point you to these things, meteors, meteorites, whichever one is which. They show that there cannot be any container above the Earth at any distance at all. Because as we know, meteor showers are all very well known. They show up each year at exactly the predicted time and date. Why is that? Well, because the comets that cause them leave a dusty trail in the comet's orbit. And the Earth's orbit intersects that as it goes around the sun, and it punches through all that little bits of dust, gets sucked into our atmosphere, light up and cause meteors.
An excellent point here. If there is a container, then how do these meteorites get through?
Well, during a recent lunar eclipse, a large chunk of space stuff smacked into the moon, and we all saw the flash as it ploughed into the moon's surface. So I think that is container busted too, don't you?
You got me, Wally. You're killing it.
Nice touch, and yes, I'd agree. 2-0.
And finally, the compass measures magnetic declination, proving the flat Earth as well. I've asked you to do it. Demonstrate it. Measure declination on a globe using a compass. I'll take down my channel, Wally. What's that? You can't? Oh, okay.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Really, really embarrassing.
Yeah, that brings us to magnetic declination on a globe. This one I love. Now, I lined this one up to show where magnetic south is, or anti-north as that guy likes to call it. I set up the P900 flat earth camera of choice, lined up the center of the frame to be pointing due south. I also measured the distance from the pool fence to the camera and got 5800 millimeters, and the fence verticals are 75 millimeters apart. Now, doing a little bit of trig, I was able to work out that each vertical is 0.74 of a degree, which means that 11 degrees is around 15 verticals. I counted that far across to the left, and put a marker on the fence. You'll see why in a minute. Now, the P900 creates beautiful time-lapse images that go for 150 minutes, and that creates a nice 10-second video. And any bright lights will stay right to the very end. So at around the 120-minute mark, I got my shaky torch out. Cheers, Antonio, you clown. And I painted the fence and the tall pole at the back with the bright light from the torch. Now you can see that the camera is still aligned on magnetic south. I also used my green laser, not the blue one, but the green one, to point out where magnetic south was and where 11 degrees due east of south was. Those two green lines are about 11 degrees apart and diverging. So that guy, everyone and his dog can see that magnetic south is 11 degrees from the center of rotation. That means I'm demonstrating magnetic declination on a globe, on the globe. Oh, so that guy, the center of rotation is about 28 degrees above horizontal as well, which is exactly the same as my latitude. Well, fancy that.
I let this one play through because it is glorious. You cannot argue with it whatsoever. Excellent, Wally.
So what do you say to that guy?
Just tie a knot in it.
I think that's number 3 busted, don't you?
You got me, Wally. You're killing it.
Indeed you are, Wally. And I think that is that guy thoroughly debunked. If he hadn't already have deleted his channel, I think he'd be doing just that right now. There is a bonus round from Wally, so if you'd like to check that out, I encourage you all to go over to his channel, subscribe and check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, I don't think we'll be hearing from that guy ever again. He has been thoroughly debunked. Twice. Before I go, another reminder about today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. To take advantage of the one-time deal, go to surfshark.deals/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to get 83% off and 1 extra month free. Right, that is all for this week. If you enjoyed it, then please do like and subscribe. It would be thoroughly appreciated. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for more Hans. See you then.